All right. Okay, Marie. So today I'm going to interview you on a project that I have is recycling. You can tell your full name and your position and what you do for the city.
My name is Marie Harris, and I'm the sustainability clerk with the Public Works Department, and I work primarily with the recycling program.
Okay. So how did you come in and take this job? Like, is it something that you always wanted to do, or it just? I mean, it's nothing.
Honestly,
I respect that.
I was hired to be the GIS specialist.
Oh, okay.
And my first day, they were like, "Okay, so you're going to be the GIS specialist, but you're going to do recycling too." So I was like, "Okay."
I was like, kind of throwing there, but hey, everything happens for a reason, so it's good.
So it was just kind of like, "Oh, do this too." But with that said, I came to love it. So
good.
Here we are.
So, okay. Well, did you always wanted to do what you're doing now, or just not really? It's just you like doing it because you've been doing it since you got kind of thrown into it. But have you always thought of yourself doing it? Doing this job. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Well, I've always wanted a job where I could help people, and obviously, Public Works Department. That's all I do all day. I really like this kind of aspect of the job where I'm developing programs and events and coordinating. It's kind of like project management, and I really, really like that. And they're kind of giving me free reign now that they kind of see that I'm willing to work and put in the time and make the effort.
Yeah.
So I think it wasn't what I expected starting off, but I was able to kind of mold it and make of it what I wanted from it.
Well, good. That is really good. I didn't expect to ever be working at a government place either. I was an intern, and all of a sudden it just turned around, and I liked doing what I like doing what I'm doing, and I like helping people, and I didn't expect this at all. So pretty much just going with it.
I actually made the conscious decision to go into government. I'd worked in nonprofits for a long time.
Oh, okay.
And so I just want to say, is government the same way? And it's not.
It's not.
It's not. But with that said,
it's a good experience in
learning.
It's
a good experience, and it's a lot more resources, a lot more networking. So
that's very true. Okay. Well, since you started doing with recycling and public works, what kind of changes have you seen since you've been here?
Specifically in recycling, I've seen a tremendous growth in the program.
Good.
From having 600
and you've been here
people
since the beginning,
correct?
Since
the beginning. Yeah. And we started off, my first day I had a stack. It was 600 applications.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And from that 600, we grew into right at 1,900 roughly now.
Jeez.
So it's a lot of growth, and there have been a lot of growing pains with that. I've kind of helped Nkrumah, my supervisor, kind of manage and work through, and so I'm happy to have been able to come in from the beginning because I feel like I have a way more broad understanding of how
you
it's
have an
supposed
advantage.
to work. And, so it was tough, but I'm glad I came in at that time. Like I had to tough it out and figure it out, because nobody was like, here, do it this way, this way, this way.
Exactly. You had to find a way to, like, where to start, how you're going to organize this, which you've done great. And that's good that you have that advantage of starting from the beginning because you got to do that yourself. Even though it's tough, but you got to choose and do it how you want to, which is good. Okay. Well,
your screen blinked off. Is it?
Oh.
It's still recording, right? Okay.
Yeah, it still is. You're good. That can be clipped out. Well, that kind of answers my next question. What kind of growth have you seen for the recycling program? And you said a lot. Since, of course, you've been here since the beginning, so you've seen a big change in growth. Okay, well, when I did my survey questions, I sent them out randomly picked, and I, of course, only got 53. I figured that it was not going to be statistically successful, but it was a try, and it was good to at least get some kind of response back. 53 out of 250 is not too bad, but at least some people answered. And of course, and when I used that spreadsheet that you had given me of people who recycle in each ward,
Mhm.
so I asked Joseph from GIS to put that in a little map to see where the areas of each ward for the city, like who recycles more. So of course, I think it was, let's see, of course Ward 3 is the most successful for recycling, and then the least would be Ward 2. So with that being said, what areas for the city are most and least active with recycling? And so that's pretty much it. Ward 3 is the most, and
Wards
Ward
3 and
2.
4 are our, we have calls. It's from wards 3 and 4. Those are more affluent areas, but they are the most populated
True,
areas.
that is very true.
I'm going to guess, I'm thinking the majority of households are in wards 3 and 4. With that said, also, wards 2 and 5, they're kind of are lagging.
Yes.
And I think it's because a lot of that is because it's majority African American, it's majority very low income, very poor, and there's just not the education. And so people don't know. They don't know what those blue bins are about.
That is true.
And I think a lot of that is what Nkrumah and I are kind of focusing on right now. We're designing programs that, are kind of rewarding the people who do recycle, and kind of drawing in more people. With our program, we have a $3 fee. That's a lot of money to somebody who only gets a disability check of maybe, I think, $7 something. That's a lot of money.
That is.
So we're having to look at ways to make it.
Some kind of grant maybe that they can apply to
We're looking
help.
at ways to make it easier for them. They deserve to be able to recycle.
Yes.
I don't think $3 should be a barrier to anybody.
And some of these people don't have jobs. From the results that I got from the surveys, a lot of these people are elderly, and a lot of these people also have low income and don't have jobs, and they would like to recycle. I didn't get very many who don't. I didn't get very much results back from people who don't recycle, but people who do, they also try to recycle, but they also have low, income, household income. So, at least they try to help, but the environment. But
Nkrumah and I have spoken to outside contractors. We've spoken to people about how we can make this work, even from going to a bag system where residents who may not be able to afford $3, they might be able to spend maybe $1 and get 5 bags or 10 bags for the month, or whatever.
Well, that's a good idea
And
too.
it's the blue bag. We pick it up
Instead of a bin. Correct.
instead of a bin. We're still working. It's very slow. I think we have to get a lot of attitudes to change, and a lot more.
Well, you're only
awareness.
limited, so there's only
There's
so
only
much you can do.
But we definitely want to get the information out there to the people who can make these changes. That there's a need, and we're trying to fit this need. We're trying to make the recycling program fit the needs of people who can and will.
Okay, that's a very good answer. Okay, well, for the least active areas, are there any ideas to encourage people to recycle?
We do have ideas. We have a program coming up.
Oh,
It's
really?
The COP Green Handed program I was telling you about,
Okay.
where it's the reward system, where to be in the system you have to participate, and you have to do it correctly. You have to recycle correctly. Even though we do have a big recycling presence in wards 3 and 4 and elsewhere, people don't know what to recycle. We get shoes, clothes, wood, limbs. I mean, I don't see why they would pay $3 a month to disqualify that entire bin. It's just they don't know. So we're definitely going to put the information out there. This is how you recycle. If you do it right, you can win a prize, and it's a pretty good prize that we're trying to put together.
That's a very good idea.
I know.
It is.
So,
that's fun.
So we're still working on that, and just as ideas come. But it's the two of us. So
that's a very good idea, though.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. And do you have any ideas or reasons why you think people don't recycle?
Well, we've had a lot of cancellations.
Oh, really?
In the program. And the main reason behind that is, well, we have a lot of reasons. We have elderly people who, they don't consume much, so they can't justify $3 a month, this big, huge bin in their way, and they might completely fill it up once a month.
Yeah.
I get a lot of that. In fact, the reason a lot of our elderly are discontinuing the program is because of that.
Oh, okay.
We have people who, they just don't see a reason why they should have to pay. They think
it should be free to recycle.
They think recycling should be free, and garbage should be like on a paid system. Lots of cities have that.
That's actually pretty. I mean, it makes sense. It
makes
really
sense.
does.
For Hattiesburg, I think
because we're so
down the road.
Yeah.
This is like the infancy. Nkrumah was brought on to be the sustainability person, but I think he's kind of been limited in what he's been able to do, and I think people are just set in their ways here.
Because it also comes with costs for the city, like trucks and people who work for it. So, yeah.
There is a cost associated with it, and it's, I think we got to gradually change people's minds with that. But there are options. I mean, even with a lot of the program that we have, we modeled bits and pieces from Atlanta's Cartlanta program and Charlotte, North Carolina, South Carolina, Charlotte, Austin, and New Orleans. They have more mature, recycling programs, and so we definitely asked a lot of questions and got a lot of feedback from them on how theirs works. But in doing so, trying to piece together something that might work for the city. But
that's a good idea to do that, though. So, do you think? Do you know roughly like a percentage of how many people have canceled out of how many people to begin? Like when we first started opening the recycling program, how many people we started with now? How many we are?
I believe it's less than 100. It's like 60 something.
Okay. But that's still a lot. But
it's a lot. A lot of that is now. With that said, a lot of it, Ward 4, we have a lot of cancellations.
Oh wow.
A lot of those houses are rented by students.
Oh. Okay.
And so every 3 months, we get like massive cancellations because they move and they, so
it changes and varies. Okay. Well, that makes sense, though. Let's see. Are there any improvements or changes needed to be done to the program, or would you like to see any changes?
We definitely need improvements.
Yeah, there's always room for improvements.
There's always room for improvements. We would love a new truck. We're using an older truck. It breaks down every week.
Really?
And that kind of throws off our pickup schedule. People don't get picked up when this truck is in the shop for 3 to 6 hours. You're not going to get picked up.
Yeah.
So it throws everything off. It makes people mad. And
it adds the cost, too, if you think about it, because every time you got to get it repaired, it kind of adds up to buying your truck.
We were actually going to put together just this big, huge spreadsheet. All the repairs that have gone into this truck.
It could have gone into a brand new one.
Right. Versus the cost of a new truck.
That's a good point.
Nkrumah's using old material. His pickup truck that he uses to kind of get around, it's old, it breaks down. It's just
To
the two
help,
of us
yeah.
and Brandy, who is our recycling driver. And we're servicing roughly 1,900 people, just
Jeez.
3 people. So it's tough. We would love to have a dedicated crew that's just recycling, who can go out. What we do, we offer courtesy pickups. Anything that won't fit in your bin, we have Nkrumah go by and pick it up. And a lot of that is cardboard boxes from people moving or someone who really likes Amazon.
Oh, well, that's a good idea.
So we do courtesy pickups. So Nkrumah literally has to stop what he's doing to go do that. And it interrupts his schedule.
Have y'all ever thought about, like, asking people for volunteers, maybe? Like, you know, from school?
We have.
Like colleges and, you know, maybe
we
high
have.
schools?
We are concerned. We have to have the right time, right place.
Yeah.
We can't put them in the city truck and
Yeah.
say, go pick up cardboard.
Exactly,
Because then
then
that's
there's-
a liability issue.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to get some volunteers on board with this program that we have coming up the Monday after Christmas. It's the Stuff a Truck with Recycling, and it's kind of modeled on a Stuff a Truck with Food drive. And we just want to give everybody, you know, regardless of participation in the curbside program, the opportunity to, instead of throwing away those big boxes and all the gift wrap,
That's
all
actually
that
a
stuff.
very good idea. Because
Instead
all
of
the
throwing
gift
it-
wrapping,
Yeah.
that's going to be a lot of stuff to recycle right there.
So instead of throwing it away, bring it to us and we'll recycle it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you think, like, I mean, I know it's a liability thing with, you know, trying to get people to participate in volunteers, but have y'all thought about, like, actually having maybe, I know everything has a cost, but maybe down the road we could actually have, like, some kind of participation with schools or colleges and, like, you know how a lot of students have to have community service hours? That would be perfect. I mean, if they could.
I agree.
That would be perfect. Then we would always have help, and we're helping them out too to get their community service hours. So that could definitely help down the road. Maybe we could work with high schools, or I think our city has student council and stuff like that, right? I think so. I really don't know. That's what other cities usually have, like some kind of council leadership council thing for kids.
I have no idea.
But anyways, I know a lot of colleges like USM and William Carey, they would probably be glad to participate. But
Right. I think, you know, if we find the right program, I would love to do that.
Yes, because I think that's a great idea. Then y'all would have help too. So, and then they would learn and understand the process, and we'll just grow from there, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, well, does the program does the program pay itself from participation of the the citizens, yeah. No.
No, there's a $3 a month fee. So there is a revenue stream, but it doesn't even cover cost of repairs and no.
So there's not enough people participating for the program to pay itself yet.
It's never gonna pay itself. That's just recycling. You know, it's never gonna be like this. You know, we're making a profit from it.
Yeah.
There are some cities. I know Nkrumah went to somewhere in Tennessee, Memphis maybe.
Okay.
They have a single stream recycling,
Really?
and they process all their recyclables themselves. So
Oh.
here we take all of our recycling to. It's changed hands. I think it's FiberVision now, but it used to be
Okay.
Advanced Disposal, which used to be Summerall Recycling. We take it to them. There's no charge for it. They process the recyclables there. They sort them, and then they bundle them for sale.
Oh, okay.
And
And do they give the city anything back for those?
We don't get a rebate because our numbers are not yet
Net.
at a point to where we can even, you know, we don't have that bargaining power yet. But we're getting there. Every month we see tremendous growth. Like last month, I think total it was it was over 35 tons
Oh, okay.
of recycling. Whereas when we started, it was 8 to 10.
Yeah, I remember when it was. But that's really a good
And that's
amount.
in 1 month.
Yeah.
So
It's a large growth.
I'm seeing growth every month. There's growth.
Well, good. As long as it's not going down. But if it's increasing, then that's really good.
Mhm.
We're doing something right.
So, but I know that might be an option. They definitely went and they asked a lot of good questions. It was Ingram and Mr. Barnes, and they were really excited about the prospect of the city, you know, taking on that and being able to capture any revenue from that. So,
Well, that'd be good. Okay. And what do you like most about your job?
I like that I can make of it what I want. It could be me sitting in front of a computer just answering phone calls all day, but I like being able to say I want to do a stuffed truck with a recycling event, and they say put it together, we'll do it.
Good.
I like that I can make of it what I want. So
And it sounds fun too. Like you know come up with these ideas, trying to improve the program itself, and so that.
and with that said, there is support for the program, and so any ideas are very welcome, and I think they appreciate the fact that I'm able to come up with stuff, and Kruma doesn't have time. A lot of time.
I understand because he on top of that,
Yeah.
I mean he goes out and picks up with his own pickup truck. That's really dedication. That's really good that he does that.
Yeah.
Well, what's the least you like about your job?
I don't like that. I don't like getting cursed out. People are really serious about their recycling.
Are you talking about people complaining, like citizens calling, complaining?
No, my coworkers don't cuss me out.
Oh, yeah.
Citizens do.
They call mad, huh?
They're angry. They don't get picked up. I wish that we had the resources that we need to
And it's sad.
go from there.
You can't really,
Yeah. I mean,
I
baby
understand.
steps. Hopefully, in time that will come. But, I track all calls from where in the city they are, what it was about, and I can come back and say we have 40% of our calls about missed pickups. Why are there missed pickups? The truck is down once a week, at least, or anything like that.
Yeah.
I can always go back and track that information, and I can back up. I can say we need a truck, and these are the numbers why we need a truck.
Mm-hmm.
So it hasn't worked so far, but hopefully it will.
But it's there. It shows it, And of course, maybe down the road, maybe we'll have some kind of program where, I've heard that garbage is going to have that, if say, people get a notification on their phone or something, or emails letting them know.
That would really be helpful.
Yes, especially with recycling too, because say if the truck's down, they would get a notification through email or text and let them know that it's down and when it will be back up and when they can bring it out. I mean, it's a process, and I know people call and get mad, but they also have to understand we're trying our best too.
Yeah. Well, I think they lose patience when it's consistent. It's
Yes.
like what you broke down last week. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's of course, like you said, once you have the numbers and show why y'all need a new truck, is because people aren't getting happy. People aren't being happy and satisfied, and they're going to lose customers that way, and people are going to lose interest in recycling because they're going to think it's a hassle to recycle when it shouldn't be. So I totally understand. But you have really good ideas, and you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
You and the whole public works department. So, that's all the questions I have. And it was nice interviewing you, Marie.
Thank you. It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Do you have any pointers or anything for future viewers for about recycling, or any advice on anything?
For actually recycling or
Mhm.
working for a recycling program?
I guess both. No.
Okay, so for recycling, I would definitely say please make sure you're recycling correctly, because items like shoes or clothes or limbs will disqualify the entire load. Um, and that can be up to 3 tons of material that get thrown out.
It adds up.
And it adds up when we get stuff tossed out because there's garbage in it. And as far as actually working for a recycling program, the one thing that's been very helpful is tracking all data. I have spreadsheets for everything. And it seems kind of like a hassle sometimes, but I can go back and track, how much recycling has increased from month to month, quarter to quarter, what percentage of calls comes in about what, or by ward. I can track all of that. And I've learned that you can say, please give me a recycling truck, but it doesn't count as much as saying, please give me a recycling truck. We've spent $6,000 this year on repairs,
Yeah.
and 40% of our calls are because of missed pickups. Numbers have your numbers. So, if that helps.
Yes, that's a very good advice and point to point out. Well, it was good interview.